Hi, fellas, Natalie from Mostly Moment. Back here with part 2 of your personal reading. This is the timeline reading. So we're going to go into what's been happening in the connection between you and Lisa in the recent past, what is happening right now when you watch this reading for the first time, and what's coming up in the near future. Okay, so I wasn't given a clear kind of timeline, which I didn't want. I didn't expect you to give it to me. But I usually have a jumping off point, like, oh, if the last time you spoke was a year ago, then I'm like, okay, from a year ago till now. But I kind of like it when people don't give me on the timeline, because it's like, all right, I'm just gonna look at what's been happening in the connection between you and Lisa since the beginning of this year until now. Maybe spring, yeah. Let's say from spring until now, what's been going on in the connection between the two of you. From spring until now, what's been going on in the connection between, wow, the Fool card in hand. So for me, this means that you guys both started a new life. Your cycle, your twin flame cycle, might have been renewed, rejuvenated, restarted. But most likely it was kind of moved into a new cycle. So you guys both started a new life. This connection started a new life in around like springtime till now, but I'm getting around springtime, spring, summer, early summer. So I did have general readings back then that said like a lot of twin flames connection. The old one had died and the new one took its place, and it's stronger and better than before. So it's a definite sign that your connection with her definitely upgraded at that time. Yeah, this is kind of by divine design. It might have been really clear at the time. It might have felt like that you guys were going to actually bump into each other. You guys might have been expecting to bump into each other around that time, and then you find out that like nothing happened in the physical, but something did happen in the connection. It was upgraded. It was energetically upgraded. And then all this kind of work that you guys were going to do around the summertime and fall was coming in at that time. Wow. Okay, their feelings for you. How have it... Okay, so they kind of they were kind of thinking that you were going to romantically step into their life one day, just kind of write a love letter or show up at their work or something. They were just kind of hoping that you would just it would be easy for them and they wouldn't have to do anything, and you would just pop into their life somehow. Or they kept feeling like you were going to, like, oh my goodness, like I just keep feeling like they're just gonna come and say hi to me and say something romantic to me and offer me something, maybe ask me out or something. Your feelings towards them in this recent past. Your feeling towards them in this recent past. Communication. Both of them came out in reverse. Both of these cards do indicate communication. And I feel like you felt like you wanted to. You wanted to, but you didn't. And this is something you might have kept to yourself, or you might have even kept hidden from yourself. The fact that you were kind of hoping to kind of communicate to her at this time. That's why she was picking it up so strongly, because you were kind of in that state of like, I kind of want to communicate to her. Should I? And then you kind of stop yourself last second. But like, giving clarity and giving kind of knowledge that it wasn't the right time. But you had that wanting and longing for that around that time that she was picking it up, that you want to communicate with her. You also felt a lot of energy coming in. You also felt a lot of energy coming in at that time. It's so funny because like I feel like you guys are the one who kind of picks up on the energies coming into the connection stronger. Yeah, and so you pick up on it, like when you felt like, oh, I feel like reaching out to her, but I don't think it's the right time. Like I don't think right now is a good time. Like I feel like there's too many other things going on in our connection right now, which you were right about. Her thoughts towards you at this time. she was open to it. She was like, hey, if he comes into my life, like, that's fine. That's totally fine. I'm open to it. Whatever happens, hey. They were convinced. They were convinced that you were gonna come to them. I don't know if they heard something from someone, or if they just kept seeing your name, or kept seeing like hearing your name or seeing your picture or whatever. But they were just so convinced that you were going to communicate to them or reach out to them at that time. Your thoughts towards them. And you thought they were going to come, she was going to bump into you. You thought like she might accidentally bump into you at some point, or text you, or message you, or call you. Like, you felt like she was going to reach out to you. The thing is, and you felt really good at this time. Like, earlier this year, you kind of felt like, yeah, I feel like things are really happening in this connection. I feel like you felt it too in your energies. You just felt really, really happy. You feel really, really successful. Like, you're like, all the hard work you put in was finally paying off. Things were happening. You're seeing physical proof. Like, things, like, I just feel like I'm just gonna bump into her. I'm in a good place, and you know, twin flames come together when we're in a good place. I feel like she is, and I feel like I am. I feel like we're just gonna bump into each other. And you guys were in a good place, and it's because of that, you guys were able to upgrade your connection energetically. This is the upgrade that needed to happen in order for a physical union to take place. So you guys did make effective change, and you guys both felt it in feeling like the other person was going to come to you at any point, just say something to you or approach you. But you guys did energetically. So you guys did, but in a way that you can't physically touch it, see it, feel it. You just kept your body, your higher self, your super subconscious mind was telling you things are happening. You guys are reaching out to get each other, but your logical mind is just like, huh? Talk to each other? But it's like, no, like, you guys are talking in a different way. You guys are connecting in a different way. Their physical action towards you. They want to start something new with you. This was in hand. They weren't telling anyone else, but they were secretly hoping that they could start a relationship with you, or maybe start dating you, or maybe start, like, you know, just seeing you, or start having conversations with you, or maybe have an excuse to reach out to you, work on something. Hey, something in my home is kind of, you know, broken or wonky, and like, I know you're really good at this, or I was hoping that you could help me. Like, is there any way, do you know anyone, or do you think you can help me with this? Like, they were looking for any excuse. They were hoping to try anything to start something with you in the physical. Communication. Are you kidding me? Because they just wanted a reason, an excuse to talk to you. This was so strongly felt. I have never felt in a reading such a strong urge to talk to each other, or feeling like the other person's going to talk to you. Like, this is, like, every single card was saying that. Every single spot. I'm going to talk to you. I feel like they're going to talk to me. Really, really feeling it so strongly. Like, I'm never going to doubt your words again, that, like, what you say you feel actually is more intense maybe than some other twin flames may be feeling it. Not that I ever doubted you. The Queen of Pentacles. I feel like you knew that she wasn't in a relationship, and that she was ready to start a new life. And that's kind of it for you. Your physical action towards her. You recognize and acknowledge that she was in that she was single. And that's it. That's all I'm getting for your physical space with her. You just really sense that something new has started for her and for this connection. Besides that, you're like, she'll come to me when she's ready, or I'll bump into her when the divine says it's time. You're really like, hey, even though you had the desire to kind of reach out to her, you felt that she might be reaching out to you. That's kind of like it. Like, you're like, oh, I got confirmation that she's single. That's more than enough for me. Like, for you, kind of were really just happy to know that she's single, or got out of this whatever kind of family type relationship. A deeper relationship than usual. So it could be a romantic relationship or a relationship with a family member or friend that's like really tight. That wasn't good for her apparently. So you just knowing that was just like good enough for you. You were really happy. You're really a stand-up guy. All right. Whereas she was kind of like, he's gonna talk to me. I just know it. I don't even think it. I 100% know it. Oh man, I wish I just had an excuse to reach out to him. She's been thinking about it and feeling it so strongly that at the end she's just like, can't I just reach out? Can't I just find anything to reach out to him for? Okay, so what's happening now? What's happening in this connection right now? The first time that you're watching this, what is happening in your connection at this time? Page of Swords. Okay. And Queen of Swords. Pointing to her direction. So, you are definitely thinking about her a lot. A lot. Like, so much so that it's taking over all the energy in this connection. Like, the connection is basically just you thinking about her a lot. So I would say, like, if you can just kind of like reel it back a little bit, because then that will give some like breathing room in the connection for her to allow her to even think about you for a change. So sometimes it's like, if you're putting too much energy into a connection, you're not allowing them the opportunity to put energy into the connection. You're hogging all the energy. So it's like kind of like, sometimes it's like good to kind of back off and not think so much about the other person. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles. Because you do want to offer them something in the physical. A chance of this relationship. And because you're so certain and sure that you want to do this, it's taking over your thoughts a bit more than usual. It's funny because you are a male, you do have a lot of masculine energy as well, but you also associate with divine feminine energies. You have a really good balance within you. But I can definitely see how you have the masculine energy within you is ready to, like, 100%, like, I will offer her something in the physical, a relationship or a steady, like, dating time, or just being able to, I just saw 717 again, just being able to kind of offer her something steady and regular in the physical for the connection. And that's why you're like overthinking everything so much. So it's like normal, I get it, but yeah, I don't see it being too much of a bad thing, but like maybe cut down on the overthinking a little bit. Maybe meditate or sleep or like take naps or drink chamomile tea, whatever. Calm your mind. Breathing exercises. Her emotions towards you, her feelings towards you at this time. 10 of Pentacles. One second here. Okay, so you know how in the at the end of the union reading, it came up that she was like really, like her higher self was saying that like this life, this beautiful, wonderful life that you've been thinking about, that includes her and your mutual life together, it's just gonna pop and like open up and surprise both of you, and really, it's gonna be really, really wonderful. Something you guys both didn't expect, but it's like really like dreamlike. She is getting the ideas for it now. She's getting the ideas, she's getting the hookups, she's getting the right people in her life, she's getting the right connections, the right events, the right things that are aligning for her to help kind of bring this to both of you when the time is right. Okay, I'm gonna pull an extra card for her. The Star card. It's so funny. You guys are on okay. You guys are kind of planning this out on the energetic realm right now. And she's getting a lot of ideas of all the different things that she wants to do in her life. Okay, what is this? What about you? How are you feeling towards her? Yeah, all these. Okay, then it's time. It's time. It's divine. It's fated. It's going to happen. I'm ready. Let's go. I can feel it. Like so many signs, synchronicities. So many big ones. Can't hide it. You're just patiently waiting, watching it, like watching it unfold. It's like, I know what's happening now. I do. I know. I'm just watching it happen. That's why there's a lot of excitement there. That's why you feel like any moment, like I could just make this real. Wow. Her thoughts towards you. She wants to make this happen. Okay, so you are communicating with your thoughts to her. A lot of your hopes and wishes and desires for your mutual life together, and she's down for it. She's down for it. She loves the fact that you're that you have just the right amount of something that you're bringing to the connection. It's like she's really excited about the fact that you're someone who's strong, who knows who they are, what they want out of life. They respect that and they want that. I think they're taking a lot of ideas from you. What you want out of life, what you've mentioned in the past, or what you've said to them in their dream. They're taking that and they're like, yeah, like they're so strong and secure in what they want out of life. I'm like, yeah, he's the man for me. Like just enough spice, enough like excitement, enough like risk taking, but enough security, enough safety, enough of a, like, you know, there's a good balance, you know. It's not, I just saw 11:11. This is crazy. This is definitely a divine connection. Yeah, and they're thinking about how you're like that perfect mix. Someone who like keeps them on their toes, but like is reliable, you know. And you've you know, this is what I'm saying, like your thoughts, like, see, for most people, this amount of thought about the other person, I would tell them, like, you need to cool off a little bit. You know, if you can't think of the other person positively, then set it and forget it. Think about them positively, and then don't think about them at all. Because if you can't think positively about them, you're going to hold back that manifestation. But for you, even though I told you that, that's what usually what these cards mean. Spirit is saying it's not a bad thing that you're thinking so much about this, because all your thoughts are positive for the most part, at least right now. And you are giving her so many of the things that you want out of life, good ideas, what she might like, what some of the mutual goals you may want to pursue, so wow. Okay, so for most people, I would say, like, stop thinking, right? Just set it and forget it. Like, too much, excessively. Give them time to space to think. But actually, you giving them thoughts about and visualizations of what your life could be like, and they're all positive, and they're, like, all forward-thinking and very helpful. It's actually very helpful. It's actually a really good thing. Fascinating, because I was like, wow, all the cards around this are so super, super positive. Wheel of Fortune, the Ten of Pentacles, a lot of success, a lot of good fortune. Have in every area of life, 1 to the 10 goes very quickly. That happened again. I was lighting the my Palo Santo while I was getting ready for the second reading, and it just like engulfed in a huge flame, and I'm like, whoa. In Palo Santo, like, sage is to clear out energy, whether it's negative or positive. It clears out all energy, right? And then I use Palo Santo, it brings in good energy. So it just exploded, and it was like another sign for me that, like, when this connection, when it's time, when it's perfect divine timing, and when it happens, it will take off very quickly, very positively too, with a lot of love, a lot of light. And you're doing the right things. I mean, there's nothing right here. Like, what I would normally tell a client to be aware of, it's actually working in your favor. Okay, so what are your thoughts towards your twin flame? What is the thoughts towards your twin flame? The Lover's card, and it fell on this card, the High Priestess. So you know that they have a choice in love to make. The Lover's card is actually a choice in love. It could also mean love reunion. But with the High Priestess, you understand that they have a major decision to make in regards to coming to you in the physical, deciding to try out this connection, choosing to partner up in life together. This is a major life choice, and you give it respect. You understand that, and you're giving her a lot of positive reinforcement, a lot of positive thoughts and visions, and wow, you're on top of it. Like, you're really helping this connection out, like, a lot, because you understand what a vital time this is for the connection. Super important, and you're doing what you need to do. The Eight of Cups. I don't know if you are moving or if she is moving. This came out twice for she might be leaving a place that she was at. I don't know if she was leaving where she was living, or a home energy, like a home situation, like her childhood home, or her past home, or the home that she's living in now. Like, either she's physically moving, or she's energetically leaving that emotional baggage behind, whatever she had with her home situation, whether it's like the last place she lived, or like in her childhood. Like, she's leaving that baggage behind. Okay, her physical action towards you. Review, and then when she's being guided, she's being divinely guided, so she is doing all the right steps. She is the one taking more physical steps right now. You are the one who's taking more emotional and energetic steps in this connection to help the connection. Yeah, she left. She left. She emotionally or energetically left from something that was not her home, like a false home. Okay, your physical action towards her. Wow, do you see how all the cards keep falling on this deck? Like, the Hierophant and the Seven of Cups. So you are definitely putting a lot of marriage thoughts into this connection. A lot of the Hierophant is like marriage, long-term commitment, and and a spiritual belief card. For me, the Seven of Cups is like all these like choices. And the 7 to an 8, the cool thing about this deck is it's one long mural. It's one long picture. Isn't that cool? The 7 to the 8. So I do feel like you're continuing this kind of help in the connection. And it's kind of weird because I know that you are human and you go through a difficult times regarding this connection also, but you're doing so much for the connection right now. You're putting in so much effort, good thoughts, good vibes. And I'm not saying like you have to do it 24/7, but like I feel like for like 10 minutes out of the day, you may just kind of like lay down and put like good thoughts, like, you know, just daydream about your life together or what you really want out of life and like what you think she wants out of life, and just kind of happy moments with her, just feeling the love energy there, and then putting that energy out there for the connection. So I feel like it's like just maybe 10 minutes a day or so, you're putting that energy out into the connection, and that is doing wonders for the connection right now, because it is so hard for twin flames to do that, to get to a point where they can just think positively about their twin flame. And I'm not saying 24/7, just 5 or 10 minutes a day, because like sometimes like especially in the beginning of the journey, you might want to think positively about them, and then all this like fear and doubt creeps up, and it just like takes over your thoughts, right? But you are so healed right now that you can put in that healed 5-10 minutes of positive energy into this connection, positive visualizations and thoughts. Wow. Yeah, you're kind of out of this kind of this like kind of sadness or like light gray fog that was around you has lifted. You are taking a risk. You are doing something about this. Like, you're not just sitting and standing idle. Like, you are actively doing the work required to push this connection along, and you might not even have known it. Like, some people don't even know that like this is the work that's required that you have to do in order to keep moving the connection forward. You're doing it. You know, you naturally organically know when you accept this journey, when you accept that you're on a spiritual journey. But so you naturally know this is what you have to do. I'm impressed. Yeah, I'm impressed. This is a risky thing to do. At this point, like, am I doing the right thing? Am I messing it up? We're so close. I feel it. But no, you know this is the risk you have to take. This is, you know, I wouldn't tell most people to do this, but you know what you're doing. You know, and don't worry, you can't mess it up. Like, even if you like have a negative thought, like, oh no, like I like am I like affecting her? Did that affect her? Did that affect her coming to me? Her decision making? Oh no, it's like no. You're good. You keep it positive. You keep it, like, if one thought comes up, you know how to like let that doubt and fear just wash away really easily and really quickly without having that pang of, oh no, did I do something wrong? Like, it's like, no, you can't mess up now. You're too healed. Okay, so what's coming up in the near future? What's coming up this end of fall and winter? So usually this near future manifests within 6 to 8 months from now. Sometimes even sooner, for like 3 months. Sometimes a little bit later, 9 to 13 months. But usually around 6 to 8 months, this is when this energy manifests. The Star card. Wow. Everything kind of aligning. 2 star cards together. The Star card is an Aquarius. It represents the sign Aquarius. So, around like January, February, I feel like this energy is going to manifest. All the stars are going to align. Things are going to feel like they're just manifesting for you. And her. Yeah, wow. The Wheel of Fortune. The decision is made. So she makes the decision in this love connection. The decision is made. Because we saw early in the last reading that, like, if you made a decision now, it's pointless because, like, you can't back it up with a physical thing right now, right? But, like, I don't know if there's, like, a situation, like, she has, like, a child or elderly parent or someone that's, like, high risk around her, so she's not really, like, seeing people in the physical or something. It's like, oh, okay, well, I can't offer her, like, going out for lunch or anything because, I don't want to risk someone she knows getting sick or something like that, so there must be, like, a reason why you can't give her, like, or she can't give you a physical, something in the physical, something that you can do on a regular basis in the physical. But in the near future, the decision is made. She makes a decision on whether she wants to choose this love connection or not right now. How she feels about you. 1111, the Twin Flame card. Okay. That there's a possibility that this might turn into the happy marriage, happy home life. I mean, she's hoping for it. Wow, the 10 of Pentacles fell on the Star card. It's so good. Like, everything is starting to kind of happen for the two of you. And she's seeing it in her life. Like, things are just working out for her, career, money-wise, home, relationships, everything. Health. That, like, she just feels, like, really good. Where she's not even thinking about, a happy marriage anymore. She's in such a good spot that she's not even really thinking about marriage anymore. She's just thinking about how good life is, right? She's in that good spot. Wow, the Sun card in reverse. All these, like, beautiful positive cards. The Star, the Sun, the Wheel of Fortune, the 10 of Pentacles, 1111. Like, wow. And you realize that this is only going to get better and better from here on out. This is just the sneak preview. Things are just going to get better and better as things go. Ace of Swords. Yeah, and I think around this time, communication does open up. And you may be the first one to reach out. Yeah. Her thoughts towards you. Finally. The 3 of Wands, right? Not the 2 of Wands anymore. I feel like now, because at this point, I feel like there's a way that you guys can see each other in the physical. Like, you guys can have lunches together or grab coffee together or video chat together or whatever. Like, there's some physical component to this connection now. So that's why the decision was made, because it's like, okay, now I can do things in the physical. Like, now if I were to have, like, a physical relationship, like, it could be an actual physical relationship, not just talk on the phone, That was, for some reason, that was really important for this connection. It might be a timing thing, or it might be actually, yeah, I think it was a timing thing. Like Spirit, was stop because you guys really wanted to talk to each other, but Spirit was kind of stopping you guys by being like, no. See, you could only be together if you guys can see each other in the physical. Yeah. If you could, only if you guys can, like, go out for lunches and dinners. Like, if you can't, don't. It's not time. And both of you were like, I don't know why. Like, all of a sudden, I feel like I should wait. It's like, And although she sees things progressing, She's taking it slow. She's taking it very slow. And we knew that she was going to take it very slow. Your thoughts towards her? Your thoughts towards her? The Four of Pentacles and Swords. Four is the number of stability, application, formation. The Swords and Pentacles are the last stages in manifestation. It goes Wands, Cups, Swords, and then Pentacles. Wands being the idea, Cups being the emotionally aligning part, the Swords being logically planning it and thinking it out, and then the Pentacles being the final representation, final step in manifestation, having it appear in your physical life. You are too. You do enough action, but you take enough time to think about things. You realize that she's kind of doesn't feel like she's on steady ground. You know, it's kind of rough when you just kind of pull the world out from under someone, like what they knew, how they lived, their sense of normalcy, and you know, she just went through something and it's just kind of like, I don't have my feet on steady ground yet. So I can't really give everything, you know, give it my all. And that's what I'm kind of feeling that you're being aware of. You're being like making sure that you're not taking, like you're saying enough, but they like for every three things you say, there's one thing you keep to yourself, because it's like, oh, I don't want to overwhelm her. I don't want to like do too much. Like I could see that she's kind of like feeling it out, like trying to hold on to something steady, and like, you know, you kind of understand where she's at. Okay. Her action space to you. It's interesting because you never know how a reading's going to go. Like, I just read your last comment where you said that, like, you mentioned to a mutual friend that you were, you know, thinking of her, and she said something similar back about what she said about you. So I expected things to be going differently in the physical, but like, you never know how things are going to play out, you know? King of Pentacles. And a lot of people don't know this, but like, I did the math out, and like for about like 21 cards spread, it's about 6 to 8 months, right? So it could take, so that all this energy can happen like in a matter of a week, or it can happen in the matter of a few months, or it can happen at the very last month, like month 8, in the very last week of month 8, you know? Or it could be spread out. It could start 2 months from now and last, you know, it's any time between now and like 8 months from now. And it can manifest very quickly or over a longer, you know, few months or few weeks. So it just, but the math doesn't lie. It's really good. It's on point. This will happen in this time frame. King of Pentacles, they're like on the border, right? They're kind of on the border. Like they recognize you to be a really strong contender for you know, a partnership. You definitely make them feel really sexy and desired, and you can probably feel like my energy is just drained throughout this whole reading, and I was excited. I was full of energy before starting this, and I just feel like it's because of where her energy is at. It's very solemn, very you know, it's positive, but just kind of really exhausted, and like she just got out of something really tough. It's like gonna take her a second to get to a good point. But you do make her feel, sexy and desired and confident and creative. But she's not fully there herself. So you can only bring that out in her as much as she's ready to see it in herself, So she's like starting to see it. She's starting to get there. But like you recognize that she needs some space still a little bit to kind of fully get to who she wants to be. Your action space towards her. Yeah, she may actually like open up to you and tell you what's been going on in her life and kind of maybe vent to you or maybe cry to you a little bit. And you're more than happy to be her friend in this time and kind of allow her to kind of get through it. She opens up very, very deep emotions to you, like super deep emotions to you. And you're there just kind of pointing out all the good things and being a really, really good friend to her because that's all she can handle right now is like a really, really good friend. And we saw earlier in that last reading that like she hasn't really had anyone to talk to. So right now she doesn't need a romantic relationship. She just needs someone to talk to that will listen to her and treat her with a lot of care and respect and nurture her a little bit. And you kind of are aware of that and you understand that. So like although these things are on the cards, happy marriage, happy home life, all your hopes and wishes and dreams, and like a lot of positivity going into more and more happiness and positivity, you recognize that she is still finishing up her bit of healing. Even if she did finish her healing, she hasn't told anyone about what she went through, and that's terrifying to know that like no one actually knows the real you or what you went through. It kind of feels like no one really knows me, no one and so it feels really good to just tell you and be like, who I am now, like someone in the world knows who I really am or what I went through. So that's kind of where the energies are for this connection, as you can see. But what is this Wheel of Fortune and the Star card? Does that mean the Hierophant? Okay, so the Hierophant is the marriage, long-term commitment, and belief system card. So I do feel like this is where the journey actually begins towards marriage, right? This is the physical thing that you guys were looking to see if you guys can, like you want to offer something big, like, hey, you want to go out with me? Like, do you want to start seeing each other? And you kind of realize, like, okay, I gotta play the long game now. Like, I gotta reel back that big offer. Like, I have to give her something smaller than that. Like, maybe I can grow this small offer into that big offer of, like, hey, let's see each other. And you realize, like, okay, like, the possibility for this becoming marriage is, like, really, really strong. Like, almost guaranteed. If you just play your cards right. If you just, like, take a step back and realize, like, okay, give her time to, like, let it out and do what you need to do. You be there for her in whatever capacity that she wants you to be there for her. You know that, though. Not to overstep and stuff like that. But you see this as, like, oh my goodness, like, this is it. Like this, all the possibilities are here for this connection. I just have to it's gonna happen like slower in the beginning than I thought. But then what is this whole, like, and I keep getting, like, once it pops, let's move further into the future. Let's move further in the future. I don't do this for everyone, but I'm going to do it for you. Because I feel bad because I usually have so much energy for readings, but, like, her energy definitely was tough. Really sad, really solemn. Just exhausted or something. But really positive. I mean, this is looking really great. Okay, what's coming up later next year? Spring, summer next year. Yeah, something already starts, by that time. Spring, summer. So, like, one small step is already made. Well, it's a big step, actually. it's confusing because on the outside it seems like she's doing really, really well, and it's because she's doing better than she ever has. So she might be smiling a lot, she might be enjoying life a lot, she might be, you know, her life might be more successful or positive moving than it ever has before. But it's like but then when you like get to like really get down to the nitty-gritty, you realize that there's a little bit of conflict still there, inner conflict that she needs to work out. Like, even though she's doing better than she ever has, she still needs some time to kind of recuperate and finish up some last minute things, you know, internally. How she's feeling about you. Yeah, Ace of Cups. She's ready to offer you something in terms of love. King of Cups. Yeah, she sees you as that person that like really cares for her, that really is a nurturing, loving person, respects her. The match, equal match, right, in love. Yeah, I think by next spring, summer. But see, I keep adding cards, so it could be like later in the year. But at some point next year, like there is she does want to offer you something. You think so much. You think so much. You're thinking again a lot, and because you can probably feel that she wants to offer you something in a romantic love sense, and like you've been there for her, and she can start seeing like the long-term potential between the two of you. You might have saw it right away, but she's starting to, because she's like, you know how there's like a little bit of work that she had to do, a little bit of inner conflict to kind of, and recuperation from the tough energy she dealt with. As she starts healing and as she starts to get out of that energy, she starts to see the long-term potential between the two of you more and more, and she wants to offer something significant in a romantic love sense to you. And so this makes you think, like, is she ready? Is this time? Is this a good idea? Because she's thinking a lot. She's like thinking about all her options. She's excited. She's like doesn't know which way things will go, but she's definitely excited. She doesn't know how to approach you, and but she's excited, like when this will happen or how she will do it or whatever. But she's super, super excited. No wonder you're in a really like deep thinking mode again, because you know something is going on. Wow, Ace of Cups twice. You know that she's already, like, because you were kind of the person who like stood back and be like, hey, if you only need someone to talk to right now, that you trust, like I can be that person. Like I can be a confidant. I can be, you know, your friend, or just someone who checks up on you, or someone you can call if you need someone to talk to. Like whatever you need, like I can be there for you. So you know, like based on what she says to you and how she opens up to you, that like when the conversation kind of changes, I'm not sure if, let me double check, is this going to be like she talks to you a lot, or is it going to be like one time deal, or just too many cards. At this point, she doesn't see you know, at the earlier in the year, she doesn't see the long-term potential of this connection as well as maybe you do right away. But she does feel like the kind of trust you would feel if it were, you know, her husband or a good friend, or, you know, like a childhood friend or a soulmate or something. Like she does feel that trust with you, even though she doesn't have the capacity to think about the long-term effects, long-term relationship between the two of you right off the bat, because she's dealing with this stuff, right? And you notice that. So you know when things switch and she does start thinking about the two of you and the possibility there, And so you know, you're like, oh, she's about to come through and say like, hey, do you want to try this out? Do you want to give this a go? Like, you know that's coming. Her actions towards you. All right. The Seven of Swords is kind of like holding back the truth, maybe saying lies or being way too excited. Let's see which one. Okay, let me just grab that. Okay, so it was a Justice card. And it fell off the table. So that's my indication that, like, this is, like, something coming into the far future. Coming from the far future that both of you don't see coming at all. What does that mean? So even though things don't seem... Yeah, she seems like... Okay, the Justice card came up twice, yeah. And the Temperance card, which is also... These all kind of like Libra cards, which is like fall season. I feel like something catches up with her. I feel like she's making promises that she can't keep at that time. She doesn't want to make a promise that she can't keep. That's what it is. But in the long term, like, I think she's so worried that, like, is this, can I do this? Will this work? Will this be fair? Will he compromise? Will I compromise? Will we be able to keep steady? She's kind of back and forth on starting this relationship because she's like, am I lying to myself? Is this fair to him? Is this fair to me? Is this going to be balanced? Because she has that, like, you know, fear, like, you know, going into another relationship, like, watch, like, me give a lot and him give nothing, or, you know, him give a lot and then me not be interested, or whatever, you know. It's just like, you know, even though she kind of defeated this lesson, it's going to come up, it's like one of her major lessons in this lifetime. I mean, even on a psychological perspective, and you probably notice this too, it's just like, you know, she gives a lot in relationships because she kind of is playing back that role with her father, like, hey, if I gave more, maybe he would have stayed, kind of thing, right? Or if my mother gave more, he would have stayed. And then, like, kind of being uninterested if someone she cares for also gives her too much, because it's like, well, I'm supposed to be giving so much so they stay. But if they're already staying, then, like, I don't know who I'm supposed to be. How do I accept someone who just wants to stay with me? So it's like a lot of that kind of stuff, you know? Your action space towards him. Queen of Wands. Okay, you're thinking about this because she's not coming off that great anymore. Like, now you're thinking that, like, she may be taking on too much than she can handle. And maybe she's looking to be in this connection for all the wrong reasons. Like, maybe she's not ready and she thinks she is. I'm sorry. I thought this was going to go... But she does offer it to you. She does come through. She does try to make this happen. She does try to... She does offer this to you. Hey, you want to give this a shot? Do you want to try this? Do you want to do this for real? Do you want to be my boyfriend? Do you want to get married? Do you want to move in together? Whatever. She does come through with an offer, but at this point, knowing her inner psyche, like knowing her inner world, you're kind of like, I don't know if this is the best thing for the connection right now. And we saw over and over again, when it's the perfect timing, this relationship will go off without a hitch and, like, blow up very positively. But you kind of knowing what the best thing for the connection would be at this point puts you in a difficult position. I'm sorry. I thought putting it in the different time, I would say something different. Okay, I'm going to pull an oracle card for the love relationship between the two of you. And then we'll see what Spirit has to say. Not for you. All right. Okay, number 6. Ooh. Wow, okay. So the essential meaning for this card is a clear knowing that something is being denied to you. Rejection is God's protection. The oracle message here is there are times when it appears that no matter how deeply you desire something, no matter how hard you work at something, the result you seek always seems to elude you. It's as if you don't really get to be in the game, and you feel like you're just watching from the sidelines. The appearance of this card indicates that you are not going to attain what you want right now. That indeed your dreams for that exact thing will not be fulfilled. This is the time to radically accept that not everything is available to you when you want it. Take heart, for these are benevolent forces who desire the best for you and have a much clearer idea of what is for your highest good. Rejection is God's protection. Something much better that will make you truly happy is on its way. Trust this. Relationship message. Some relationships carry an innate seed of failure in them that is obvious from the beginning. But the red flags escape your observation or you refuse to acknowledge them. When a relationship is not meant to be, it is not possible to make it be. Rejection is a sign that you're being protected by the divine. If you are the one who must reject another, remember that you do so for both of your sakes. For every pot there is a lid, and one may not be the best fit. Ouch. All right. I know what to do now for the next reading. So much love and light to you.